Welcome to today's episode of How the Game Was Won, and today we're looking at the European Team Chess Championship and from round 3, and specifically the match Russia versus Spain. So with the white pieces for Russia we've got Nepomniachtchi, and with the black pieces playing for Spain, Salgado, Lopez. And without further ado, let's see how the opening sequences of this game played itself out. We got e4, e6, d4, d5, knight c3, knight f6, bishop g5, d takes e4, knight takes e4, which is a very much a classical French basic developing itself over here. Bishop b7, bishop takes f6, bishop takes f6, knight f3, knight d7, queen d2, bishop e7, castle long, castle short, h6, bishop h4, b6, and bishop d3, bishop b7, queen f4, knight f6, knight takes an f6, bishop takes an f6, knight g5, h6, knight h7, rook e8, knight takes an f6, queen takes an f6, queen takes an f6, g takes an f6, rook h3, king f8, g4, king e7, bishop e2, rook g8, and rook e3. And the position looks to be just about equal. At this point, black could have stayed solid with something along the lines of rook a to d8, but instead he went for a pawn sacrifice that was incredibly dubious with h5. And although this move looks logical and opens up the g file for the rook, what it does is it gives up the pawn, and it's up to Salgado Lopez to be able to justify the pawn sacrifice in the first place. For instance, he could have played something along the lines of rook a to d8, but after h5, obviously g takes h5, the h pawns are doubled, but it is precisely the h5 pawn that makes black's life extremely difficult. Late in the game, white gave up the h pawn, but won after another pawn on the, but soon won another pawn on the queen side. We continue with rook a to d8, rook g3, f5, rook g5, king f6, f4, rook h8, c3, bishop e4, king d2, c5, king e3, bishop c2, rook d2, c takes in d4, rook takes in d4, rook takes in d4, c takes in d4, bishop e4, a3, rook c8, rook g1, a5, rook g3, rook c1, rook g5, rook c8, rook g1, rook d8, and as you can see, it's very much a rook and same color bishops endgame playing itself out, but those two passed pawns in the h file are now looking incredibly menacing as far as white's position is concerned, and it's up to Nepomniachtchi to leverage that obviously as much as possible. We're continuing with rook g3, rook c8, king f2, bishop d5, bishop d1, rook d8, bishop e2, rook c8, b4, a takes b4, a takes b4, rook a8, b5, rook a4, rook g8, rook a8, rook g3, rook a4, h6, rook a8, h5, rook h8, rook a3, rook takes h6, rook a6, rook h8, rook takes b6, and there the pawn falls on the queen side that I was talking about. And now what happens is that effectively white still has this passer running up the king side, but he now has a passer running up the queen side as well, and the combination of those are just too much for black to be able to defend, bearing in mind that this bishop cannot defend either the b8 square or the h8 square, and what's more, the bishop can't even get around to the king side of the board to defend any squares surrounding that h8 square. So it's simply too much for black to be able to defend, and as Ivan found out soon enough. Continuing, rook c8, rook a6, rook c3, rook a1, bishop e4, rook g1, rook b3, rook g3, rook b1, bishop f1, rook b2 with check, king g1, rook a2, and rook g8. And at this point, Ivan decided that it was way too much to be able to defend, and he threw in the towel, and that, my friends, is how the game was won. Nepomniachtchi picked up the point for Russia, and as it turned out, this was the most crucial game in the entire match between Russia and Spain. So Nepomniachtchi picks up the win in the game, Russia picks up the win in the match, and as I mentioned, that was how the game was won. Feel free to share this video out amongst all of your chess friends. Remember, give me a thumbs up if you like this type of content, thumbs down if not, and down below the screen, please post any comments, questions, criticisms that you may have down below there as well. And also, very importantly, there's a big red subscribe button just below the screen there in YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, that way you stay subscribed to my channel for all the new content that comes out to you on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. Stay safe out there, don't get yourself lost or killed, stay carved up for the win, and I'll be seeing you next time. Cheers.